My task today is the community prayer, meaning that as a community we'll join in prayer. My spirit is burdened with what's about to transpire this week. A transition of power in our country, a change in our nation, a time for those of us who treasure light, inhabit that light, and be that light for others. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people who will descend upon our city for various reasons, for celebration, for protest. This is a time for the people of God to come together in community and lift up our nation in prayer. Gracious and loving God, we fall before your feet. We thank you for the opportunity to live in a nation that is free to worship, that is free to praise, that is free to pray. And God, on this particular Sunday, the official day of the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of your greatest servants, God, we stand with him in spirit, in solidarity, for that which is right, for that which is just, for that which is of you. Help us to be strong, help us to be one, help us to pull together. God, cover us in your cloud of grace, your cloud of peace, your cloud of unconditional love. Where would we be without you on our side? We thank you for being with us this far. You haven't brought us this far to leave us. So we thank you for the power, for the courage, God, for the ability to stand on your behalf, to help those who need help, to love those who need love, and to support anyone who's in need of loving support. I finished this prayer today with an excerpt from Dr. Martin Luther King in one of his more famous speeches. He said, God, grant that right here in America and all over this world we will choose the highway, a way in which humankind will live together as one, a way in which the nations of the world will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, a way in which everyone will respect the dignity and worth of all human personality, a way in which every nation will allow justice to run down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream, a way in which we will do justly and love mercy and walk humbly with God, a way in which we will be able to stand up in the midst of oppression, in the midst of darkness and agony, be able to stand there and love our enemies, bless those who curse us, pray for those who might despitefully use us. And this is the way that will bring us once more into that society which we think of as the brotherhood of humankind. This will be that day when white people, colored people, whether they are brown or whether they are yellow or whether they are black or whether they are heterosexual, homosexual, will join together and stretch out with their arms and be able to cry out, free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. We're free at last.